Hello, everybody. Scott Roberts here with Jerry Hubble, and
Hi, everybody.
it is episode 36, I think, is what it
36.
is.
Yeah, 36. I think
Yikes!
that's right.
Good Lord, how did we get here so fast?
That's a lot. It'll be 100 before we know it.
I know, but it's been fun bringing this content to you guys and sharing. What's going on with the PMC-Eight community, the OpenGOTO community. Yesterday we had on Gary Palmer, who gave us a little tutorial on SharpCap and how you do polar alignments with SharpCap. That looked actually pretty cool, and I haven't used that program or that feature yet, but I intend to. I think that it would make precision polar alignment faster. But something that Gary did point out is that the people don't need to do the really tweaked in polar alignment that they used to do, right?
Right. So, yeah, exactly. We talked about this a little bit in terms of what I got Chris Moses trying to call me. I got, he talks about, what's good enough, in terms of, or what's perfect depending on what you need, basically.
Right.
And what he's found is that you don't need to obsess over the polar alignment. You just need to get a very good polar alignment and see how it works for you. Maybe
Right.
you don't need to spend half an hour doing tweaking it in. Maybe you need to spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
That's right. That's right. Because the exposure times are so short, and you can definitely see where Gary, living in the UK, they have tons of cloudy weather there. So their clear sky windows are something that they have to make the best use of. And if they don't have a permanent setup, then you need to make a very fast setup. And so that was,
Right.
I think Gary coined the phrase something like, fast imaging or something like that, where you can get out there, grab those images as quickly as you can. But
Right.
that
It's like a
does,
fast food. It's like a fast food restaurant as opposed to a sit down restaurant,
right, right.
where you sit there, well, and you're in and out of your lunch break to take your images instead of sitting there for 2 or 3 hours enjoying an evening dinner.
That's right. But it does require that you know your gear pretty well and what you're going to do if you're going, to be quick and accurate, So we got lots of people watching right now. Uh, uh, let's see, Mike Wiesner and Naburun, Mr. Naburun Saha has joined us. Anshul Puri is on. Astro Beard, yeah, he was on with us yesterday too. It was great to have him on. We talked, Richard Grace is Astro Beard, and he was one of the first ones to respond to the idea of having a virtual star party. And so since that time, we've had a couple of more people chime in and offer
Good.
to be part of this. So once we got, our first four, and I may have them now, I have to double check. Then we'll try to figure out the logistics of having that program. One of them that offered is in California, and of course, Richard, for example, is on the East Coast. So we got a 3 hour, time gap there, which
Hmm.
which makes it a little tough. The one cool thing is that Richard did say that we could hit him up at any time. So maybe we will. Maybe we'll call him at 3 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning or whatever.
right. Exactly. Hey, can you get your telescope set up so we can broadcast it?
That's right. He'll learn to hate me.
That's right.
Let's see. Who else is with us? Ron Delvaux. Great. James the astrophotographer is here. Wolfgang's here, Germany. Um, Ron reports that the comet is now getting dim. It is also getting higher in a darker part of the sky. So I wonder if it will, if you're doing a deep astrophotograph against a sky that doesn't have so much gradient in it, can you get more detail? I don't know, you know. Mike Wiesner says, comet, what comet? It's been cloudy here for over a week.
Oh, man.
Yeah, at least the rains the last few days have finally put out the nearby wildfire that burned 120,000 acres. Jeez.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is. It's a shame.
That's nature's way, though, of clearing the path so that new growth can happen. And you don't want it to build up too much before it starts a fire. Then it begins to be really bad.
Hopefully it was nature that started that fire, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of some idiot, you know.
Yeah, right.
Dave is saying hello from Southern California. He is one of the guys that wrote in. Richard Lighthill. Hi, Mike. Still feeding the kitty. And James the astrophotographer wanted to know if Wolfgang had fixed the C-clip on his tripod. Wolfgang, if you get you know, really into a bind with that, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to intervene here a little bit and get it fixed up for you. So let's see. And, oh, geez, many more comments here.
Sounds like we're getting quite a big audience now.
Yeah, the thing that's cool is that the international part of it is really cool. Chris Moses is on with us. You mentioned he was trying to call you a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Maybe he had a question for me. He could put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, there's Kent.
Kent scared the living daylights out of me.
He's a cameo.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Kent's been training in his new position. So, but he'll be back on the show with us again. So
I really miss seeing everybody, and learning new things is hard, but very rewarding. So just like maybe learn how to use the PMC-8 system. There can be challenges, but it's all good. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Take care. Yeah. So Richard Lighthill reports he used a 10-inch SCT on the comet head last night. Lots of striation in the first part of the tail. Huh. Interesting. And Wolfgang says, if there is an astronomical special, then we have rain or full moon. Bummer.
All right.
Yep. Well, that's the reason why we need to have the virtual star party. We'll since we're all kind of this big family out there, we should hook up our scopes and participate in this stargazing event, because we have the gear these days. You know, we have the technology, right?
We have the technology. We got a $6 million man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's a great way of saying it. We have the technology.
We have the technology. That's right. We put boots on the moon. We can do this. So Gary Palmer, who's watching, says it will be clear when there is a full moon. Yes, that's right.
That's good.
That's
for
how
me,
you know there's a
like,
full moon, right? It's clear outside.
Yeah, full moon's not quite as attractive as any other phase, but I like the moon.
Mike Wiesner says tech issue. He lost the stream. Let's see. I don't know. I don't
see it's on YouTube. I don't know what else. It's
yeah,
on.
we're simulcasting, and if you are watching on Facebook, I do still see the live thing there. And so no, we're fine. Mike, it's all you, man. It's all you. Yeah. So
yeah, we'd probably have several people chiming in if we had lost it for sure.
well, that's the great thing about simulcasting is you'll hear it from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we are still up and running, which is nice. We wanted to talk about, to bring some focus back onto the groups.io OpenGOTO community. And there was a couple of parts of it that we continue to look at. Of course, one of them, and we've talked about lots of times on our show, is the new feature subgroup. But another one is the Wiki subgroup that's on there. And Jerry, you created these subgroups. How did you envision these things really working in the community?
So the about a year and a half ago, I think it's been a year and a half that I created these other subgroups off the main group, and I put a survey out there to see if people were okay or agreed that we needed these subgroups. So the mounts, the dev, the syshelp subgroups were created. So that was the first block of groups. And then last year, we had been talking about creating the wiki on the forum, which is on the main forum. There's a wiki that was supposed to be an alternative to a knowledge base that was managed and produced by the customers. And they could add in, just like any other wiki, as a group collaboration to update information and to get it correct and to add things. And one of the things that we wanted to do before we didn't want to become a free-for-all right up front. We needed to populate it with a certain level of information so people could start contributing to it, adding and changing and updating and things like that. So I created this subgroup called Wiki Submissions. And back when I created it, I added everybody that was on the forum at that time, and it was 250 people or so that were members at that time. And but unfortunately, we haven't really talked about it a whole lot. We've gotten a few people to add things to it, or to submit things that would be good to add to the wiki, so that we could look at it and say, yeah, let's add that in. And but not a whole lot's been done. But if you go, let me go to the main group, and I'll show you. Let me share my desktop, like as always.
You are always sharing your desktop.
I'm a sharing kind of guy.
Look at that. And you got lots of icons to share with us.
I got lots of icons, and I've got, where's my stinking browser? That's what I'm looking for.
Let's find the more controversial ones.
Yeah.
Too late. Okay.
So I'm going to go to the main group.
Okay.
And show you the wiki on the, you see the menu items on the left. Down at the bottom is the actual wiki.
Yeah.
All right. And so all we have right now, and Chris Moses has started working on this a little bit, I think. He may want to chime in on the chat about it. But right now, all we have is an outline, which is the wiki outline. And I came up with this way back originally, and it's got quite a bit of, you can see I'm still scrolling through. It's got quite a bit of stuff. I mean, it's got a very good comprehensive outline of all the different things that we want to have in the wiki. So what my plan is now, since we've only got, right now it's only got 250 people in the submissions group, and let me go back to the Wiki Submissions subgroup, and this is all that's on it right now. All right, Carl's contributed.
Thanks, Carl.
Stuff. And Kevin. So, yeah. And then Dan. Karaman, is that how you pronounce his name? Karaman. So basically, this is from last year, and earlier this year in April was when Carl submitted this idea.
So let's see what this looks like.
So this is an example submission from Carl.
Okay.
And he's
so he submitted this, right? And then it was vetted.
Well, this has not been added onto the wiki yet, but this is an excellent thing that people have been talking about for a long time. And and it's basically, how do you make your PMC-Eight connect to your wide area network? Instead of having a dedicated network. All right, which is kind of cool. And we had, early on in the development of the system, Dan and I had worked on that, but we there was so many different variables in terms of people's networks that it was not.
Oh, you couldn't find like one.
We couldn't really define it one way. We had to work on that idea some, and we never got back to it really. But people have been asking for it for the last 3 years, basically. But Carl worked it out, and now it takes some configuration. You have to know what you're doing here, because you can, once you've reconfigured your wireless on the PMC-Eight,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to work and connect directly to the Explore stars unless you go through the whole process and get it working again on the wide area network. So you have to follow through and get all this working before you can go back, or you have to revert back to the factory configuration. And I mean factory in terms of Explore Scientific configuration, not the Wi-Fi module factory configuration, which
Right.
people have seen and have messed up a little bit. But anyway, so he's worked this out where he's able to, I don't know how well you can see that. I guess you can see it
Well,
pretty well.
I mean, he's pretty much stepping through it.
Yeah, he's stepping
You know?
through the configuration, exactly.
Okay.
And then, I don't know if people understood, but now this is for the G11 and the Exos 2. This is not for the Exos 100. But on there, the actual Wi-Fi module that we use has a web server running on it.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, this is what he's connected to. And then you can configure, select the access port. So this is a cool thing.
Absolutely.
So what he's able to do now, let's see, and I responded to him, that's awesome that you discovered the web server. And at the time, I was not aware that you could do that with that web server. And let's see, there's quite a bit, there's a few things here, some messages. So I'm gonna
So this one's ready to publish, you think, or
this one's ready to put out actually as a to publish and to make it people aware that this suggestion is out there. But again, this is an example of what the wiki would have in it.
so how do you put this up on the wiki if you're going to publish this right now?
What I would do, if I was to publish it right now, basically I would cut and paste all this stuff
I see.
and stick it out there until we get a more formal, formatting. If we want to clean it up or make it look prettier or whatever, it would be, you would have a link to it at the top, and for this specific topic, and then it would
Okay.
get to it. But again, we wanted to get a lot of stuff out there at once before we even put anything out there. But I think what I'm gonna do is just make another post of this message onto the main forum so people are aware, because people have been asking about it. And like I said, only 250 people are subscribed to the Wiki submissions and know about this. And then we got over 500 people now, or almost 500 people. So
Yeah, I didn't invite the other people in.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to opt in.
Share this with them on the wiki,
Right, exactly. I'm going to opt in. So just as a warning to people out there in the forum, I'm going to add them to the Wiki Submissions subgroup. And then if they don't want to be there, they can opt out.
Sure.
Because we want people to be aware of what's going on and what's going, and to be blunt, I don't want to be rude about it, but it's our forum.
You're being rude.
And we can do what we want. So that's the case.
That's as blunt as it gets.
Yeah. So we manage the forum, we make it do what we want.
It's our forum, blah blah.
Yeah. But it's your forum too. You get to contribute to
Actually, it's their forum.
It's their forum,
That's
right?
That's right.
But we manage it.
We're janitors for it.
We're janitors for it, but
That's
we
right.
also
we're the custodians.
That's right.
That's right.
So that's what the Wiki submissions group subgroup is about. Now that's significantly different from the feature request subgroup, which we had a conversation about earlier, I think.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think that possibly some people kind of get confused between the two, or they think that the feature request is somehow,
related to the Wiki?
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know.
It doesn't seem...
They're very distinctly different.
Yeah. Now, how many people belong to the new feature subgroup?
Well, that was only created, like a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I had well over 400 people, and right now, let's see how many people it has here. It's got well, it's right. It actually occurred right after we went to 400. So probably 20 people have opted out of the feature request subgroup. So
Okay.
it's 394 right now.
Okay.
But I think it was when it was right over 400 people that I created that subgroup. So, and we're at 485 right now, so we're sneaking up on that 500.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So what, do you want to
And-
revise your number or?
No, I think we're still on track
It's
for
on track? Yeah, what do
yeah.
the bookies in Vegas say? What are the odds?
I don't know.
I think they have it like on some big marquee up there at the, at, Mirage or something
Right.
with the odds.
So
That would be actually really
are there
funny.
any questions? Yeah, are there any questions?
Let's see if there's any questions. Oh, Wolfgang says, I was thinking nobody works at the wiki. That could be, I mean, it wasn't much going on, but
Yeah.
we're starting to have some action.
Well, we're trying to create some action, yeah.
That's right. Tim Myers said he was never sure what the wiki was for.
The wiki is like a knowledge base.
Yeah.
At least the way we're going to use it.
Right.
And it's supported, and it was designed, and it will be turned on to be supported by everybody that's on the forum. Once we have a critical mass, that's a nuclear term of information out there for people to comment on and change and add and update, and add,
Right.
do all those things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But we could actually turn it on for everybody to start just jamming stuff in there with the outline. We got to create a structure for pages for each of the items in the outline is what we need to do.
Okay.
And if Chris Moses is listening, I know he's been interested.
He's
in getting that
listening.
going. Yeah. So has he said anything about it yet on the comments?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think I hear snoring
right.
on that.
Right.
No,
So
he said, hold a giveaway for whoever predicts the correct date. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. But how about a giveaway? Yeah. How about a giveaway for the person that makes the most popular wiki contribution? Hey.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Now we could make that kind of a bigger thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah, that'd be a nice prize. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have for him, Scott, when we get to 500? Have you talked about what it's going to be?
Well, we're going to do I think we were talking about 100-degree eyepiece, and I know that several of the people here have mentioned that. So from the guys that are watching right now, which 100-degree eyepiece should I give away? Which one do you think would be good?
This is like a $500 value, right?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
So which one is it? And the responses I see, we'll just take a baseline, whoever gives us okay, one person says the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Thump 30 wants a 20. 30 wants a 20.
I would opt for a shorter focal length only because you got such a wide field of view anyway. James, the astrophotographer, says 14. Yeah, that'd be.
Wolfgang wants that big 30.
Oh man, that'd be like looking at the.
Yeah, that takes a 3-inch diagonal. You know that.
Yeah, that's a big
14
huge...
came up again. Let's see. The winner will love the 100-degree eyepiece. That's true, Mike. Which one do you think it should be, Mike? Mm-hmm. We know that you're trolling in the background, but
I think he's lurking, not trolling.
Not trolling, lurking. What's the difference? I don't even know,
Trolling is not in the background. Trolling is definitely not in the background.
No?
No,
What is, I don't even know. I see 20, Common Hunter, and I think 20 is the way to go. With the Comet Hunter, you're right, Mr. Thump 30. That Comet Hunter and the 20 was a match made in heaven. Wolfgang says 7. I don't have a 7 100-degree eyepiece. So it's going to be a 5.5, a 9, a 14, a 20, could be a 25. Don't forget about the 25. That was the impossible eyepiece. Okay.
Mm.
And then the 30, you know,
Why
30
was
is
the
like $1,000 eyepiece.
Yeah, why was the 25 an impossible eyepiece?
Because a certain somebody told me I couldn't make one.
Oh, I see.
That
Was that the
was
first
very
one you
knowledgeable about these
Was that the-
things.
Was that the first one you made?
No, the first eyepiece I made out of that line was a 14 millimeter. And we took the prototype to the Winter Star Party. So Gary Palmer wants a 50 millimeter 100-degree eyepiece. Dude, you're going to have like 2 people lift it up and slide it into the, 5-inch diagonal or whatever.
Right. That'd be good on
Wolfgang's-
the Yorkie's 40-inch.
Yeah. Wolfgang says, I don't know if I need an eyepiece because I have only a photo setup. Okay, so here's the deal. You don't have to get, we can, let's say it's a 14 or a 20 and that's what you win, okay? But if you don't want that, we can take the value of that and apply it towards something else you want. So that's something we can do.
That's nice.
Anyway you look at it, it's a very generous prize. That's right, James. That's right. Tim Meyer says that would be a small Mac. Maybe our 6-inch Mac could be an eyepiece. Who knows? Generous focal length. Well, Tim Myers wants a 50. Sorry, guys, no 50. No 50. All right, so I'm going to go back and read through these. And I'll read through these as we get towards the end, but let's see what it looks like. It looks like it's a toss-up right now between the 20 and the 14. 20 and the 14. So we'll read through it again towards the end of the show and see what comes up with that. So I guess the next thing I kind of wanted to jump to, unless you need to, do you have anything more to cover on the wiki?
Yeah, I've got, my dogs are barking. I've got, no, nothing else on the wiki. I do have a problem that came up in the group I want to talk about.
Okay.
My wife's coming in the door. That's why my dogs are barking.
They don't like her?
They don't like anybody.
Wow, those are mean
What I
dogs.
want to talk about is a problem that somebody had with the ASI Air.
Yeah.
That they had.
Stops tracking after 18 seconds. Is that right?
Right. So Harvey Richard
Okay.
said it was stopped tracking completely after 18 seconds, and that told me it was a very specific thing, which is part of the feature. One of the features of the PMC-Eight in terms of the default firmware is that it stops the if you lose communications with the PMC-Eight, or if you don't have any traffic going back and forth, I should say.
Yeah.
It detects that, and then after 20 seconds, it says, "Oh, I've lost connection," because it no longer sees any communications. And the default for that was because ExploreStars always shows communications, always is sending back and forth, and the ASCOM driver is always sending data back and forth. So that's the case with that. But with the Indy driver, apparently that's not the case. And ASI Air runs the Indy driver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the case there, and that's what the problem was. Is that the and then looks like Dave Conley and Jay Richard chimed in saying yes, it's the firmware.
And Gary Palmer says UK slang, my dogs are barking, means my feet are tired and sore from too much walking. I think we use that over here too, Gary. My dogs are tired.
That's right. Or my
That's
dogs
right.
are tired.
That's right.
So that's the case. So that was the problem.
So
with that.
okay, so let's put this in plain English here. He's got the ASI Air connected up to the PMC-Eight, but it's not always communicating, correct?
Yes, that's my conjecture because I have never
Okay,
used
so
the
this is
ASI
what you
Air, but that's
think.
what it is. That's what causes the communications to stop.
Okay, all right. So we need to find out if in fact that is the case. How would we actually test that? Or have him test that?
Well, you can load the alternative. What I suggested is you load the other firmware, the A version of the firmware. And
Okay.
other people have already done that and tested it, and that is the case.
I think you muted yourself, Jerry.
Yeah, I did because the bark it's
The
bothering me
dog.
just as much as
We
it's
don't
bothering
even
you
hear
guys.
it anymore, Jerry.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's just
So
like
if
white
you load the
noise in
firmware,
the background.
right? So if you load the firmware, the A version, I talk about it right here. So if you look, the fixes to download,
Yeah.
the latest one is 9T_17A, and that'll make the communications watchdog disable that and allow the ASI Air to do its thing like it wants.
Mm-hmm. I like the way the dog made that little woo, right at the appropriate moment.
Yeah. Yeah, they're right on cue, of course.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So hopefully we can find out more about this quickly and report back soon. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure Harvey Richard will, or Richard Harvey, I'm not sure which is his first name, will respond back to this thread and say, yes, that's what the problem was. I just fixed it.
Mm-hmm. Harvey Richard or Richard Harvey. It's like Scott Roberts or Robert Scott, you know. I can't tell you how many times people couldn't figure out, especially when I'm overseas, they can't figure out which is my first name or my last name. So I don't know.
I don't know many people that are plural first name. There are more than one of you.
When you're from another country, you know, especially like maybe like China or Japan or something like that,
right.
you know, it's pretty
That's
easy to get those things messed up, you know, so,
right.
You know.
How many
English
Roberts
is not
are
the
there?
easiest. Although I'm not sure
how many Roberts are in your head?
Is English. What's that?
How many Roberts are in your head? Is there more than one Robert in your head? That's why you would be called Roberts.
Yeah, I have plural personalities. That's the reason why.
You're schizophrenic.
I think schizophrenic is when you hear other people, okay? But when you are other people, yeah, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Overacker says, I always go with, hey, you. That's the one I use because I can't remember people's names, okay? So that's the deal.
Yeah, I have a hard time with people. That's why my name is really useful for me because people think of Hubble and they can link it to my face. You know, you recognize faces, but you don't recognize names.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Hubble is a famous name, so he's astronomy. So
yeah, that makes it easy for you.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, Dave says, are you related to the Dread Pirate Roberts? Probably. If it's bad, I'm probably related.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, that's kind of cool, you know, pirate, you know.
Pirate Robert, yeah.
Pirate in the romantic sense. I don't know.
You need to wear an eye patch to get your dark adaptation going, right?
Yeah, you know, I've seen guys do that at star parties and stuff. I remember, I mean, some of the funny things. Now, maybe these things really work, and they probably do. But I remember, I think it was Orion Telescope sold a night vision goggle set, and it was like, you know, like these protective eye goggles, you know, but they're ruby red. So everything's red, and that's supposed to somehow improve your night vision before you start observing. I always thought that kind of looked weird.
So
You
during the
know,
day, everything looks like the nuclear apocalypse has happened, right? Everything's
these
burnt,
guys with like, radiation glasses on or
right?
something,
And
you know,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. And Gary Palmer says, is that Hubble spelt the correct way? Hmm?
Yeah, no,
No,
I misspell my name.
that's right all the time. It's just to give yourself an identity, you know. Winfield Christopher Moses says, no one ever knows which is my first name. Yeah, Winfield could be a last name. I guess Christopher could be, and Moses also could be a last name. They could also all three be first names. So I don't know if that's lucky or unlucky. I'm not sure.
Right, 3 first names.
If you like it, it's lucky. Mike Overack says, great. The next Explore Scientific mount will be the swashbuckler. I think he isn't onto something.
That's an interesting question that I don't know if we've talked about it, Scott.
Bergman Scooter says he got a pair of those glasses.
Oh, does he?
Okay,
The red one?
Bergman, do these glasses actually work? I think they probably do, I think they probably do. I don't know. And then, yeah, there's the guys that can't close one eye to, look at the eyepiece. So they have to do this, or I have actually seen people wear an eye patch, and it was through various telescope dealers in the past, an accessory that you could buy, as a.
Well, that's because it's more comfortable to have both eyes open when you're peering through the scope instead of having, and if you want to block the light out of the other eye, then you use a patch for that. It's hard to squint on one eye and open the other eye and really be comfortable observing, especially if you're looking for minutes and hours on end, at certain objects.
Right. So did you wear one of those eye patches, Jerry? Is that why you chose astrophotography, so you wouldn't have to?
That's right. I turned into Popeye. How Popeye is with squints one eye. You saw.
Oh yeah,
Popeye.
Popeye was that dude was different. He was.
Remember that video that we posted on Facebook when we were at the show 3 years ago with the solar eclipse was coming up, and I put that solar eclipse cover on my eye and was. That's what that was for, right?
That was scary, Jerry. It was.
You put that.
Yeah, you put them in your eye sockets.
Right, exactly. It's like it's a cover that goes on the eyepiece cover, but then it has a sticker on it that says "Don't look at the sun." And so this is what you use to look at the sun, is what I did. I stuck it in my eye,
and you couldn't get them out for the rest of the show. We had to dial 911 and have an ambulance pick him up.
It's like a monocle.
It was. Yeah, guys don't use monocles anymore. You never see a guy up there.
Right.
Like the guy from Monopoly. Daniel Sanchez. Refractors telescopes have lower FR, but with Barlow lenses, may I get more crisp images of planetary? Oh, okay, focal length. Okay, more crisp images for planetary observations, and of course, the wider the aperture, the higher Barlow can be used. Daniel, I will say that yes, that this can work. But when you say more crisp images, anytime you're boosting magnification, you also have to have equally good seeing conditions, and so that is a good question to run by Gary Palmer. He would be able to give you, I think, excellent advice on that. Certainly a lot of his images of the sun have been pretty high magnification, and so I don't know if all of his images are entirely just controlled with which camera he's using. He kind of alluded to that in the past. And that may be another way to look at this, is getting the right size sensor, if you're looking for a particular field width and effective magnification.
Right. So there's, if most astrophotographers, when they start out, they run into this thing called sampling and critically sampling an image. And basically what you want to do is balance the sky conditions with the amount of information that you try to record with your imager. So using a very small pixel and oversampling is similar to over magnifying with an eyepiece, where you just make a little blob a big blob. You don't gain anything by making a little blob a big blob in your eyepiece or on an image. So basically, that's what binning, when you bin an image or bin pixels on an imaging system, that's what that's all about, to balance the need for sampling the image.
Mm-hmm. So Gary's responding. He says, I use all types of cameras depending on the skiing conditions. So, provided you can afford all different kinds of cameras, this might be a way to go. So that's something to think about. People who do use focal extenders or, the telecentrics or Barlow lenses also can achieve, different magnifications for sure. It's just, you always need to be mindful of the conditions. And so that's part of the game there. Also, aperture does play some role, actually a fairly large role in the resolving of images in various ends of the spectrum on seeing. With perfect seeing, of course, you can go for very large aperture scopes, and poor seeing, you're going to go down to smaller aperture. One of the things I do like to point out is that if you have a large aperture scope, you can always mask it down, okay, to a smaller aperture. Of course, you can't go the other way, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Astro Beard is saying, one of my next purchases will be an APS-C sized censored cooled Astrocam. That'll be exciting. Yep. And Tim Myers does also point out it also takes a good quality Barlow, of course, but thankfully there are a lot of good quality Barlows and telecentrics and focal extenders on the market. But the better to the glass, always the better the performance too.
Yes.
And I think, okay, so our next subject here was we are, since Kent Martz is moving on, not leaving us entirely, he's still going to be on the show, but moving on to handling our specialty dealers that we have across the country, and less as a senior technical rep, but once you're into customer service, it's like joining the mob. You never get out. So, but we will, Jerry and I will be training the customer service reps. We have some new ones that have joined us. A couple of them have been with us for a little while, but they'll be taking more of a leadership role in learning the technical side of this. Starting next week, they go through a fairly intensive training session that will happen every week. So you can never learn too much about all this stuff. And as you guys know, so feel free to challenge our customer service reps and pin them down. We will be doing that as well. And, we want them to be able to serve as many people as possible that are getting into this hobby. I hope you guys enjoyed, if you were with us this morning, enjoyed the interview with Abigail Bolenbach. She talked about her new program that she's doing with Astronomy Magazine. They're now in their third or fourth episode, which is really cool. Anyhow, do we have any more questions, comments? Dogs.
The dogs keep barking. I think they hear my wife. She's outside. She's not coming through the door, so that's what that is. That's what that's
Oh, is that what
about.
it is?
Yeah, she's outside waiting for. I think she's doing some other things
Oh, okay.
also. But
She's not afraid of the dogs, right?
no, no.
No. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nico, you came in late, man. We're almost done with our show. Yeah, he says hello.
So we were able to yesterday's show we gave away my book.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanted to
Yeah.
try to do a giveaway today.
Yeah, we could do let's do something different. You figure out the question.
All right.
I'll figure out what the
Let me
prize
see
is. How
Let
about
me see if I
that?
can figure out the question before you figure out the prize.
$100,000 cash. No, sorry.
Yeah, it'll be a simple question if it's that. To see who can type the fastest on the keyboard to answer the question.
That's right.
It's like these auctions when you're waiting for the last second to hit the price, you know.
Yeah, um, you know, I think that what we should do is a binocular. We have some great binoculars, you guys. I don't know if you're aware of it, but we have a couple of different brands of binoculars. One of them is from Bresser. Bresser is a 60-year-old German brand, and they make some great binoculars. Their company started out in binoculars, eventually doing some telescopes and stuff. And they are the Bresser company in Germany is also the custodian of the Explore Scientific brand in Europe. So, but I am thinking, let's see what we have in stock. I don't want to give away something we don't have.
Sure, then we can put it on back order.
Forever. Yeah, and then the winner will hate us. How's that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
These guys cheated me out of my prize.
Cheated me, exactly. Let's see.
I think over the last 35 episodes, we've probably given away $1,000 worth of stuff.
I have. Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
I know.
That's why these people, I think everybody that's on the broadcast today needs to share.
Is that why they're there?
They need to share this. Say it's a great program. They give away stuff every day to bribe people.
No, they don't want to tell anybody because that lowers their odds.
Right. We have to bribe people to watch your show.
That's all right. We call it marketing is what we call that, right?
That's what bribery is.
I could spend it on
marketing.
some crazy ad somewhere, but
right.
It's better that somebody actually wins something.
Right.
I think. They probably, I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. So,
kind of like the lottery.
Yeah. Shasta Ridge.
I think I've got a good
you have a good question?
A good question which will welcome a new member. Basically, I think everybody can see the membership list. Who's the most recent member to join? What's their name?
The most recent member to join. Okay. All right. So, and I am going to put up
it was today.
What the door prize is here. It was today? Really?
Yeah, we get 2 people.
And they're not watching the show and winning something?
I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't think so.
They don't know.
We get 2 a day now, pretty much, and even more. Some days we get 3 or 4 people join.
That's pretty cool. Well, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to put up for you guys what this is. I think you're going to like this. This is the Shasta Ridge Alpine binoculars. Okay. And valued at $180.
Dang. That's
I know.
a good prize. That's a
Yeah.
heck of a
Ron Delvaux
prize.
said Fred Flintstone joined. Yabba dabba do, man. Mike Wiesner says he loves the show. Wish I had time to watch more. We're gonna have to drag Mike Wiesner into our show.
Yeah, we'll have to. That's why he can watch it from the inside.
Well,
instead of
you know,
from the
Mike,
outside.
Mike, you could be one of the remote observatory guys, you know. So and then we'll have you on the virtual star party. Yeah, they are. They're very nice binoculars. Oh, wow. I wish I knew who joined. You have to go to log into the groups.io and you can see who joined, right?
Yeah, I think you can look at the members list.
Are you sure of that?
I thought it doesn't give you all the tools that I have to manage the members, but I think you can see the list of members and when they joined.
Dave, I think it's Dave. No. He said, I just joined. Mike Wiesner says, no good internet connection here. That is a bummer.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah. Oh, Wolfgang says we can't see that list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me come up with another question.
That means it's a trick question.
That's a trick question. Yeah.
I should have made the door prize like huge.
It's a trick prize too, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not. It's a real prize to a trick question.
Let
They can
me
see
come
how
up with
many
another.
people it is. It's 486 people so far. They
Right.
cannot see that list. I thought so. Usually these guys are really fast, you know.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me do another
My
question.
wife has a pair of Smith & Wesson binoculars. Does it go along with their Smith & Wesson 38?
I got another question.
We got a boo, our first boo ever on this show.
I thought we got some mad faces on Facebook, emoticons.
You probably did.
A sad thing. So the question is, I changed the question now. This is going to be easier
Okay.
because you'll be able to find it.
All right.
How many files is in the Explore Scientific official files folder on the main group?
Oh, okay. Andrew Corkill's on it. He's got good vibes. Hopefully he's got good fast fingers too, so he can get in there. Nico says he needs those binoculars. 97, Dusty Haskins.
No. So
No.
the question is, how many official files are in the Explore Scientific official files folder?
Official files folder. 97, Gary Palmer. There's 97 something.
No, that's not it.
What is 97? What do we have 97 of?
I don't know. I don't see 97.
Tim Meyer says 5, question mark. Andrew says 116. Chris
No.
Moses says 5.
No.
Wolfgang says 937. Nico says 14.
That's winner, chicken dinner.
There we go. That's great.
It's 14, and I can prove it.
What? No, that wasn't a very good one. This is the one we want. Yay! Okay.
That's right.
All right. So,
So let me share my screen, and I'll prove it.
okay. Explore Scientific official files. So where was the 9 coming from? Or the 97?
I don't know.
I probably would have said 89 for the 89 megabytes. Well, there we go, Nico. That's great. So, Nico, what you need to do is send an email to Kent, K-E-N-T, at explorescientific.com, and let him know that you were the winner of some Alpen Shasta, S-H-A-S-T-A Ridge 8x42 binoculars. And we'll be happy to get those out to you. And congratulations. So I did use a lot of these binoculars. Every night I would take out 3 or 4 different pair of binoculars, because I can do that, and go out and look at the comet. And it's interesting to see the kind of subtle differences between some and the not so subtle differences between like really inexpensive binoculars and a pair of nice ED binoculars. These are not ED, but they are very high quality and very rugged. The Alpen brand is pretty famous with, outdoors. People that enjoy the great outdoors, hunters, nature observers, that kind of thing. So it should last you a lifetime and beyond, I think. So, but
These are the ones, right, Scott?
That's it. No, these are 10x42s. These are the 8x42s. It's lower power. They're at 179.95 right there. That pair right there. Yep. 180 bucks. Or at only $61 a month with a firm. So
that's pretty good. Those look like nice binoculars.
Yeah, they are nice. They're good. Like, of course, they come with the strap, the case, all the standard stuff that most binoculars come with. But I like the sculpting on those binoculars because they fit your hands really well. It's good. And those kinds of things, those little things I've learned from other expert binocular users are very, very important when you use binoculars a lot, And almost any amateur astronomer really should have a pair of binoculars, It is an excellent observing tool. Nico says, can we send you the mail? Here, I'm going to type it in right here. I'm going to type it in. It is Kent at explorescientific.com. There you go. And that's it. Well,
I think this has been a good show.
It's been a nice show. Thank you. It's been great to spend part of our Friday afternoon with you. We will see you on Monday. There may not be a show on Friday of next week. We have a major meeting going on, and depending on how long that goes, we'll see. If it does not go on too long, then yeah, we will have our regularly scheduled show. So, yeah. I hope you guys all enjoy your weekend. I hope you all have clear skies wherever you are, and keep looking up. And we will see you next week. Take care.
Take care, everybody.